Get your day started right. From our shack to yours, this is Coffee and Ham Radios. We are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, everybody. This is Steve, KM9G, and we have our field reporter, Joe Swede, on the scene here. We're calling him Joe Swede. Check out this super epic beard that Morton's sporting. Oh, look at that.
Morton's sporting
that beard. How you doing this morning, Morton?
I'm doing fine, and it's actually afternoon here. We're about an hour into the Region 1 field day, and see if I can get my gimbal to stay still here.
Oh, see, Morton's got his gimbal.
We've started, and we're doing pretty good. Got some antenna issues and all the things you got to have on field day. So, but we're getting there.
What's the temperature there? We expected snow, Morton.
It's about 65.
Not bad.
Excellent.
Not bad at all.
See, I thought it was always snow up there.
So Morton's not really here to talk about the topic that we have on the show. Morton's here for a little more selfish reasons. Tell us why you're here.
I hope this will give us 10,000 field day points, actually, for being in the media.
So well, good luck.
Media. Oh, we're the media?
We are.
Yeah, you're the media.
Oh yeah.
You should get 10,000 points and an axe for having a lumberjack beard like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Morton, keep checking in with us. I know you're in the middle of setting up an antenna, so if you wanted to sit that thing down and get to work, we'll be happy to watch you.
Well, he's not quite ready to race the beam yet, so
okay.
But let's see if I can change the cameras here. And we actually had a lot of rain this morning, so we had to put up some tents. So
nice.
Yeah, it looks official. I see Rubbermaid. I see canvas tarps. I mean, we got everything we need over there.
Yep.
Well, that weather's awesome. 65 degrees for field day is great.
It is awesome now. So we got the 20-meter station here, and for once, I'm not running QRP.
Best radio ever.
Is that an Evolve 3 laptop? What are we looking at there?
No, it's not. It's a HP laptop.
It's the second best laptop for him.
Second best laptop.
Running 12 volts. He needs a buck converter.
We got the 80-meter and 40-meter stations over here.
Oh, you got a lot of friends.
Yeah, these boys look official over there.
Are you guys sporting bandpass filters or low pass or anything?
We are. We got something right over here.
Nice.
Oh, they got the official looking ones, not the.
That's a Swede. That's a Swede filter.
That's not an ape filter or gym filter.
And the guy on the right there, Simon, he's an actual Swede.
Oh, well, an official Swede.
The guy in the green shirt.
So
awesome.
And then we got the last one here rigging up some 6-meter beams here.
Chuck would be all excited if that was if he was here.
Let's check this out. Look at this view.
So I think we got pretty much the best field day location.
Yeah, for sure.
You got food? Are we grilling weenies later or something?
Yeah, we are.
Steaks? Excellent.
Hot dogs. We got hot dogs, we got coffee, and we got beer. So we're pretty much set.
Dude, that's all 3 food groups right there.
That's hot dogs and beer. You don't need much more than that.
Just make sure you pace yourself back and forth with the coffee and the beer. You want to get a little awake, a little relaxed, a little awake, a little relaxed as the day goes on.
Right. I mean, that's like all 4 food groups in the hot dog alone.
Well, let's see if I can
you got
switch
lips,
it.
You got
back
tails. Here. You got oinks.
There we go. Look at Brian. He says he was half expecting meatballs. They get the IKEA, right? Like they got the Swede meatballs at the IKEA you can get.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could probably get meatballs, but hot dogs are a little bit easier to cook, though.
Easier to cook on the grill. Meatballs will get away from you on a grill.
You got to put them on a spit, like a stick or like a kebab, meatball kebab. Right?
Yeah. So what is a traditional Norwegian food that you guys would have?
Oh, God.
There he goes.
Pressure got to him. Tio with the hard-hitting questions. He bailed.
We're just going to leave that in the black.
There he is.
There he is. He's back.
Lutefish.
You've muted
Are they
yourself.
eating lutefish?
Lutefisk.
Lutefisk.
I got a phone call right now, so I turned off my mic, but I'm back. Traditional food on field day would probably be lutefisk.
Okay. That's what we were saying while you were gone. I don't know. We're gonna have to have you come over to the States and give us a walk around the plate there, because I've heard about it. It's kind of a scary thing.
Yeah,
But
scares the
I understand it
daylights
tastes
out of
good.
me.
It's like
I've actually
fermented
never,
fish.
I've never tasted it though. I've smelled it, and that's enough for me.
That did it.
Yeah.
All right, you got it
Yeah,
right
that did it.
there. If the natives ain't eating it, Jim is not eating it. No,
Right,
sir.
right?
No, sir.
So we're gonna try to raise a beam here now, I think. So I don't know if you guys want to.
Yeah, just
look
point
at
it in
that, or-
point the camera in that direction, and we'll just keep on talking while you're working.
No.
Are you in a state park? Someone's Gary's asking your location.
They don't have states in Sweden, son. Sweden is
Well,
a state.
he's in Norway, I think. Are you
No,
in
it's-
Norway or
it's-
Sweden?
I'm in Norway right now.
Okay,
so-
Norway.
It's not a state park, but it is a park.
Okay,
Excellent.
But it's not a parks on the air park.
not a POTA park.
Not a POTA park.
Not
We gotta
yet.
call
It
that
is a
guy.
It is a field day park though.
Jason.
So, but I'll go check if we're racing the beam now, and I'll be back.
All right,
Okay.
excellent, excellent. Let's see who all's in the chat this morning. We got Andy Callie here first as ever. We've got Gary, W9FNB. Gary has branched out on the Toads Discord. Gary, I'm very proud of you. But I haven't heard much from you since you branched out, so I hope you're feeling okay. It's good to see you on the show this morning. We got Vern 6 here today. Vern has started a new YouTube channel, What's Up with 6, and he's going to be telling you all about what's going on in his ham shack world. Of course, we've got Ape, we've got Jim here. Who else do we have?
We have
Hollywood.
member renewals as well that have
Oh.
scrolled.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm scrolling from the top down, so we'll see what's going
Okay,
on.
okay.
If I got in early enough to see him. All right. We got 45 Auto.
I think he's leaving though. He said his family breakfast was coming.
Up a storm. Breakfast is not as important as coffee. You're here for coffee, man. Andy, the other Andy is here. AA0.
I don't know if you saw that, Theo.
Vern, thank
Ooh.
you. Huge thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you,
yeah.
Vern.
Excellent. Let me do this.
Got to hit the music, son.
Hit the music.
Take your time. Take your time.
Hit it.
So Vern's working on his YouTube channel, and he has a new video that he's putting out. And Vern and I were talking in the background. If you guys join Toad's Discord, there's a link in the chat, and you want to talk about social media promotion, social media production, tools that you use, like this fantastic soundboard that we have here.
He needs some milk.
That plays all these cool
Yes.
sounds. We can hook you up with some info on that. Together we are 100% of a human being, but individually we are not greater than the sum of
We're
our
lessened. That's right. We're
So-
lessened.
parts. So together we'll get this all done up.
The 5 fingers make a fist, right?
Right. And there's only 4 of us here, so
Right. It's only 4. Right. So there's one left over. Right.
the one that got away. John, Amateur Radio on the Air, another fantastic YouTube channel. Let's see, where are we at? T-Ray. Good morning, T-Ray. Hope you slept well last night. T-Ray changed his profile picture just for Jim. His avatar used to be a younger version of T-Ray.
He's got one of them big old beards too, right?
T-Ray has quite an interesting beard. He's grown that beard out. He's got like a mountain man beard.
Takes time. Speaking of mountain man beards, the beard on Morton this morning made him look like he was from Pintlala.
Right. I was gonna say he looked like a native Alabamian.
Yeah.
Is that how you say
Could
that?
be.
Alabamian?
It is how you say that.
We got Tim Stad here. We got Don N5SKT here, so you know the sass is going to start.
The
Liberty
sass already
Cave.
started.
Liberty Cave says he made his first JSA call QSO last night. So Liberty, I hope that that Todd's colonoscopy is going well, and we'll look forward to the report in the chat a little bit later.
Right.
We've got, who else do we have? David Hill. Excellent. Good morning, David. Brian WM8G. Welcome, Brian.
Thumpster. What's up?
Yeah, we got a full house. Everybody rolling in. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Indeed. Have you
So our
caught up
topic
yet?
today, I'm caught up enough. Our topic today is about Colin CQ getting on the air, and look at that beam spin. Oh, that's hot ham action going on in the lower left of the screen there.
So he said it was Region 1 field day today, right?
Yeah, we're in Region 2, so he's in Region 1.
And I think, isn't this weekend the Tennessee QSO party?
Oh, it could be. The best way to win a state QSO party to get a trophy is
to enter.
Well, to enter from a different state. So if you were to enter the Tennessee QSO party from an adjacent state or even from a very far away state like California, you have the chance of being the person who made the most contacts from that not Tennessee state in the Tennessee QSO party.
Well, even from the states, though, don't they have like different county awards and stuff like that too?
Yeah, so you get like worked all county multipliers, and then you get, I mean, that's the whole deal, is to get a clean sweep in the QSO party. You want to work every single county in the QSO party. And you also want to work on multiple bands, and then you don't want to work any duplicates.
Yeah, I remember Brojet was explaining to me that he just responded to a state QSO party to a couple guys, and he actually ended up getting an award in the mail.
Exactly. That's one of my first QSO party awards. It's hard for me to get everybody in the Wisconsin QSO party, and I'm in what they consider a rare county because there's not supposed to be a lot of hams in my county, and so people are actually looking for, well, they're looking for the county I live in. They're not looking for me. I'm not that. I was
gonna say, people want to talk to you, man. That's awesome.
Only on Wisconsin QSO party day, yeah.
James looks like he's freezing up to me. Is that me or is that James?
None of y'all are freezing to me.
I can see Jim fine. So
She's frozen right now to me.
Jim's got a bro crush going on with Morton down there.
Am I still frozen? I mean, I can't tell.
No.
Right? Okay.
No,
you're
Jim,
not.
you're A-okay.
Damn. Shut the
They're
front
saying
door.
it's me.
So, Morton, how'd the erection go? Can I ask you that in public?
Oh my lord.
looks fine. There's a little bit of adjusting going on right now, so
Always.
but we'll get there. So we got a couple of stacked HB9 CVs for 6 meter here.
So those are 2-element Yagis is what it looked like?
Yeah, 2-element Yagis.
And so you've got them pointed in opposite directions, so you're getting front to back and front to back on both of them? How's that working?
They are in the same direction as far as I can see.
He's got front to back and side to side.
That's a song.
So,
Be careful.
but I'm on 20 right now. So if anyone want to try to catch me, just listen out for LA9H, Lima Alpha 9 Hotel.
Oh, you can't spot yourself, but I could spot you.
Yeah.
If I could hear you. I was going to say, tell us what frequency you're on, and I'll tune to that frequency, but you can't tell us what frequency. That's one of the rules
I
of the
can't tell you.
contest.
And the chances are, though, when I'll be back on the radio, the frequency I had is not going to be free anymore.
Ah, true. All right, NRD, thank you for becoming a member of the YouTube channel. Right below the video where you see our smiling, handsome faces, there is a join button. If you click the join button, you will be sending support our way on a routine basis so we can bring you quality content. And as soon as we get enough support, we will actually start bringing quality content.
And it will make you feel happy in your ham parts. Just saying.
Yes, exactly.
And you don't have to talk about it later. So.
All right, Morton, are you ready to get back to business? Or are you going to hang around
Yeah,
for a while?
I'm ready to go back calling CQ now. So
All right, Morton.
I'll try to get you in the log if you respond.
All right, perfect.
Good luck.
on the contest
See you, buddy.
today.
Take care.
7-3.
So I didn't ask him, is Field Day in Region 1 a contest, or is it not a contest like it is in the U.S.?
No idea.
I don't know.
And somebody changed my name, so just so you know, I didn't put that there. I'm okay with it, because I am probably not your dad. But I don't know where that came from.
It was not me.
I don't know anything. I changed that yesterday when we were at work. When I was at work and we were setting up T.O.'s mixer, we were troubleshooting his mixer, and I was bored watching the cameras moving around and everything. So I just started messing with StreamYard.
Dave, excellent. Welcome to membership.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, from Temecula, California.
And I forgot about that when I was laughing before the show. It was because that popped up and it just made me laugh.
See, the only person freezing for me is James.
Okay, I'm verklempt.
This is pretty upbeat music
We
there.
need some milk.
Right.
Man, this is like old school soundboard going on too, man. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, somebody has to get us back on
Right?
track. I mean, Ape was slacking, then Jim tried to take over, and Jim plays music that's soft for 5 minutes and then hits hard.
Yeah,
Right
I
when
don't
we're-
know what I did, but I was looking at a mixer and it had a mount point on the bottom of it, like I don't know, what do you call it, a 3/8 mount or something like that. So I somehow equated that to my mixer had a 3/8 mount, and I bought a mount kit for the side of the desk. So I was like, I'll be able to get the mixer up off the desk and all this other stuff. Mine don't have it, so I don't know how I confused the two.
I don't know how Kevin's saying nothing worse than a bored ham radio operator. Kevin, I don't know how you could be bored in this hobby. I don't know that that's possible. Sorry,
There's always
service.
something that needs tinkering, fixing, exploring.
I would understand frustrated.
Yeah.
Or angry.
If your shop,
you know.
ain't, if your shack
Angry.
ain't broke, it ain't fixed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't apes dance? I don't know, Don. You tell me. Why can't apes dance?
That's mean.
Well, no, it's
Mean.
a setup. I'm waiting for the rest of the punchline here.
It's a joke. I think it's a joke. Here you go. Disgruntled hams. There you go. So I guess with the Swede being on the show and he's calling CQ, it's kind of apropos to the topic. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I mean
Look
the
at you.
topics kind of converge. So Morton asked a couple of weeks ago if he could come on this amazing multi-reach, million viewer media news outlet and discuss.
We are the world.
We are the
Indeed.
people. Yes, discuss the amazing field day event that they have going on, because like you said, that does give him 10,000 points in the not a contest. I don't know if it's a contest or not.
Well, it's got points. It's a contest.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So of course we said yes, because that's, it's all ham fam, much love there. But our topic today is about call and CQ, and I was hoping that Chuck was going to be here because Chuck is the master at doing this. And there's a couple of things. So something happened to me, a funny thing happened to me on the way from the ham shack last week. I was actually listening on Morse code, and I was playing a little Morse code trying to get better. And this guy tuned up on the frequency and then started calling CQ on the frequency that I was listening on. So, of course, being the gracious ham that I am, I reached over to my key, got my fist ready, and started pounding out my response, as lousy as I am currently at CW. And then he started telling me about the weather and about his ham shack and about the kind of antenna that he used.
Ain't nobody got
and-
time for that.
And
Right.
what his wife made it for dinner last night. All of that stuff is fantastic, but I ain't that kind of Morse code ham yet. I
My
panicked.
name is Steve.
What did he have? What did he have for dinner?
Did he have
So-
lutefisk?
It was a little bit of lefse, not lutefisk this time, but he was telling me, and I'm like, when it came back to my turn for the over, I was like 73. Thanks for QSO.
73.
Okay, I'm
And-
out of here. And as soon as I stopped, he responded back with whatever he responded back with, and then he sent the classic dit, which is the over.
The mic click. Dispatchers love mic clicks, man.
And then I sent that back to him as well, and it was done. And then he never called CQ again, and I was like, did I hurt this guy's feelings?
Oh man.
And I felt kind of bad, like I just ruined this guy's day because I didn't want to have a rag chew with him. I'm just not capable of having a rag chew yet. I'm just not that comfortable. I don't really like having a rag chew on phone unless it's somebody that I know,
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm kind of the same way. I mean, that's why I like doing pileups, working somebody's pileup somewhere, because they don't want to talk. They just want to
Right.
do, right? Yep. Here I am. Deuces. See you later. Bye. And yeah, I'm the same way. That's the downside to digital. And I love you guys. Love all of you. But it's like, just because I'm on there listening doesn't mean I want to talk with you for 35 minutes.
Right.
Well, some people do. That's I mean, that's
I know.
what makes the
Yeah.
hobby cool. But at the same time, it makes it cool that there's other people that don't want to do that, right?
We need a safe space. We need a digital channel for hams who don't like to talk and want to listen to a dead channel.
Right.
Leave us alone. Get off my lawn.
So I gave him a
Right.
good contact. I gave him a good signal report. He gave me a good signal report, and we checked all the boxes of the QSO. So name, QTH, signal report, and that's what you need in order to get it in the log according to the officials who officiate these kind of things.
So that right, that makes it official. You checked all the boxes.
Exactly. So I don't feel bad about it, but I kind of feel curious. So we were going to ask the chat what the chat thought about, how do you break into a contact and how do you break out of a contact? And I know Chuck's actually done this on video where he's seen a couple of guys, chewing the rag, and he's like breaking in, getting signal reports and breaking on out of there. So I was, Chuck's not here today, and he's off doing some construction project that's more important than coffee and ham radios. And
See, I
have
think Chuck
literally-
knows all those guys, right? Like a lot of those guys that Chuck is talking to in his antenna videos, he knows them. because he's rag chewed with them before. Like when he gets on there, that seems like they're old buddies meeting for coffee at the McDonald's in the morning.
Hey, Chuck, good to see you again. Yeah.
I've used the medication. That's my bailout. If I ever tell you I got to go take some medication, that means shut up. I'm leaving. You can keep talking, but I'm leaving. Bye-bye.
Take some medication.
Yeah, it's time for my medication. I have to get the wife to help me with it. Right there, most of them are like, okay, all right, we're not just.
Well, it's funny, Thump is saying break, but you'll hear folks be like, hey, break, and the guys just keep talking, or they're like, hey, mind your business, boy.
Right, so either they can't hear you, which is a definite possibility, or they don't want to be broken into, which is a definite possibility. So you just move on.
We have a repeater here that some of the guys are not so friendly on, and they were talking, and I had gotten my 705 out, and I was messing around with it. And I thought I had programmed it incorrectly, but I did not put the PL tone in there. And I'm sitting there answering questions, saying, "Hey, man, what?" Because I was getting angry that they weren't.
Y'all don't like me.
Yeah, I was getting a little upset that they weren't responding to me. And then, and then I realized that I was a dumbass. Turned the radio off and went and cried.
Did you play the Smoking Ape card too? I'm the Smoking Ape. Why are you not answering me?
Some people actually watch me on the YouTube. No, I didn't do that.
Mate, you got to say the YouTube though. That's got to say that.
Yeah, but I mean, I was getting hot because like they were even like, "Does anybody else want to check in? Is anybody else out there?" I'm like, "Hey, it's me. Hey, it's me. Hi." And they're like, "Oh, nothing." And the guy was like, "Nothing heard." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm gonna drive over there."
That's my favorite thing about working a pile
hysterical.
up. They'll ask for they'll ask for the next call QRZ, and I'm like Kilo Mike 9 Golf, and they're like the Kilo Delta station. I'm like, no, the Kilo Mike station. My wife just laughs at me when I do that. Like nobody wants to talk to you on the radio either, hon. Just give it up.
So this is an interesting point. Raphael, let me scroll back to where he said he was talking to somebody. He made a QSO with someone on 10 meters, and they talked for 20 minutes, and he logged it to QRZ, which is where I log. That's where I use that kind of as my truth source. And the guy rejects it. Well, and so then Don points out, and Don, this is an outstanding point, and thank you for bringing it up, even though you're kind of a troll. Just saying, love you, Don. This is a very good point, because when you want to verify log entries in QRZ, and I'm sure it's this in other things too, but our times have to be within like 1 or 2 minutes of each other. So that is very possibly something that that could happen. And Raphael, that may be exactly why it was rejected, because the times. And QRZ will usually tell you, hey, the times don't match. I'm like, okay, I don't really know exactly what his clock was set to.
Match. Well,
if you have a 20-minute QSO and somebody logs the initial part of the contact and somebody else logs the end of the contact, you're kind
of screwed.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the slot value is on that. I'd imagine it's probably way less than 20 minutes.
That kind of sounds like something QRZ would do. If you go into the QRZ forums, they're definitely on you for whatever it was, whatever crime you committed that doesn't actually exist.
Well, the thing is like, does it really matter? You know what I mean? Like no, that's really. Where I think that a lot of the stuff is silly. I mean, does it really matter?
It's hand paper, bro. That's about all it is. Cause so I've logged it as far as I'm concerned, if I'm done. I don't care. You can verify it or not. And I have like hundreds of awaiting verifications. And when I was a brand new ham, I was all worried about that all the time. And I would go in there and I would try to verify them. But then I have to look up the time because QRZ doesn't tell me that. So then I have to go to something else and figure out the time. And I got tired of that real quick. Like, I don't care, because then I said to myself, does this really matter?
Right. At the end of the day, that's what you have to ask.
And doggone it, people like you.
Exactly. Right. You mostly kind of occasionally. My old lady does. She hasn't murdered me. So
I'm with you, Jim. My log is for me. It's
yeah.
When I work all states, I know that I've worked all states.
Right.
But
I have.
I get the awards. I get the paper. I appreciate it, but I have no place to hang them up. I mean, I've got the club charter paper here for the K-Toads Ham Club, which you all are members of.
It's totally cool, and you're members. That's
right. You don't have an I Love Me binder that has all of your accomplishments?
Oh, a binder. That's a good idea. Now I got to go back and get all that paper.
I have a wall. See, and with your camera view, you should have all that paper on that back wall back
Oh,
there.
It's a sign.
And this
it's
isn't even the wide angle lens. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can switch the lenses here.
Oh Lord, he's gonna break something.
It's going to be really bad. Ultra wide.
As his wife comes in
Now you can see
just
tomorrow.
out of the shower or something. Steve, what are you doing?
You see out the windows.
I've hidden all my tax forms and everything. There's sunlight in Wisconsin. It's interesting, yeah. So we'll go back to the normal view.
That's actually not a bad view.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
It
sure which
shows-
is worse.
Well, it shows less of his face on the wide angle one. So
Y'all can see what I'm working on in my ham shack here.
But if you have the paper hanging on the wall, it's a symbol of authority, right?
Exactly.
Right.
It means that what you're saying has more credence than somebody else.
right.
Oh yeah, when you watch Ham Radio Adventure Guy on his live streams, and you can kind of like look past his face, you can see all the awards that he's gotten for all the POTA parks that he's activated and worked. And I mean like logistically look past his face. He's a handsome guy. He looks even better in person. Hey Paul, how's it going? Ham Radio Pen Pals.
Hi, Paul.
I received some complaints. So I'll just
Oh, you keep it.
Much better, Tim.
So when do you? I mean, I don't go out and call CQ. Hardly never. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
not just
same
something
here.
that I'm interested in doing. That I don't have any problem, obviously, with anybody else who does it. I'd rather see if there's a pileup or something like that and try to break through that.
Mhm.
To me, that is a more skillful thing, and it's a better test of equipment, right? Because you're competing with other signals and stuff like that. One a lot of times people say, give your call sign last because it's the last thing that
Right.
the station that you're seeking hears, right? And so it's going to be the first thing that comes off of their tongue. But some people are even like, well, I don't respond to the last guy because I feel like they're trying to won over. Every single person who's responding to your CQ is trying to won over. All of them.
Absolutely. Yes.
It's like a lot of times that's where you see some really bad behavior too. People calling over each other, or even before the guy even says QRZ, right? There's somebody giving their call sign. I don't know.
Right.
You guys got any thoughts about any of that, or?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I agree
so,
with you. You're
so
right.
calling CQ is a skill. It's an art form, and I guess we should touch on like the beginning part of it first, and then we'll get to the answering part of it since you brought up both sides of that. If you're calling CQ, even if you don't have the confidence, there's this phrase, fake it till you make it. Act like you do have the confidence, and it will eventually get there as you get more practice and you get better at it for sure. But nobody wants to respond to a wimpy CQ call. CQ. I don't want to talk to that guy. He doesn't sound like he's going to be a lot of fun to talk to. He doesn't sound like it's going to be an interesting conversation. I don't want
Right.
to talk to that guy. So I always try and just spice
Well,
up
hold on a
bit.
second.
Like,
You just said you didn't want to have a conversation anyway. You want to get in and get out and check the box.
I do, but I certainly don't want to do it with the boring guy because I know
He
he's
has
not going to.
standards. He has
he's-
standards. That's what he's saying. Yeah.
The boring guy is going to be the one with the long story. I'm going to hear all about, the problems in his relationship and the way his mother
Yeah.
raised him wrong and all kinds of stuff like that. But I mean, I don't want to respond to that, and nobody else wants to respond to it either. We want to talk to people that are happy. If I wanted a sad conversation, I guess I just keep talking to Ape. But I want a happy conversation, So when you're calling CQ, put some energy into it. And people get on me about like, you just hit the record CQ button and go. No, I want to be like, hey man, this is fantastic. I'm having a little bit of fried chicken here at the park and got this KFC bucket going on. Anybody out there want to talk about anything?
Making me hungry.
Give me a call back. And
Right.
you might get people who are like, KFC's the worst chicken ever, or KFC's the best chicken ever. Or I remember when I was a kid, we used to do the Cub Scout camp out thing, and we'd bring a bucket of KFC because that used to be a thing. I don't know that it's a thing anymore.
This one time in band camp, we ate KFC.
Right. So
Well, see, I think the thing is like initially what you need to do is just catch somebody's attention. Now, whether that's somebody peeping at a waterfall or somebody spinning the knob, when you're calling CQ, you really just want to tie up a good, I don't know, 10,
chunk.
15 seconds
Yep.
of, hey, I'm here, I'm listening, and I'd like to make a contact.
you
Really,
kinda
what you're
gotta-
trying to do is maximize your time on the air so somebody can notice your signal, right?
one-way word vomit. Yeah. So if I just say CQ KM9G QRZ, you don't see it on your waterfall as you're spinning by. It doesn't peak your meter enough. Nothing happens. So you gotta give it a good 10, 15 seconds. Then you have to give like 5 or 10 seconds in between. I had this one guy who was calling CQ and wouldn't stop calling CQ for long enough to hear somebody respond.
CQ. Right.
Oh,
But
that
you gotta
guy!
throw some
I ain't
stuff.
never. I'm spinning right on past that dude.
You got to throw some stuff in there and be like, "What up? What up? I'm feeling fine," and all that stuff. And
Just a tad more class than CB is all we're really asking for.
Right.
I like when people give the wrong band. You know what I mean? Like they're on 40 and they're like CQ20. I'm up here on
I've done that.
CQ20.
I might have done that once or twice.
I'm like, are you operating on the harmonic or?
Yeah.
Well, no, once I know at least once I decided I was going to call CQ, which is unusual, but I was new. And so I'm on, I don't know, I think I was on 17 meters. I don't remember where I was exactly. And so I called CQ, and then I realized I don't know what the meters is for this frequency. So I was like, CQ.
What is 18?
CQ, how are you? We're good. Everybody here's fine. Thank you.
See, I don't necessarily know if you need to do that. I mean, there's a lot of habits that hams have that are carryovers from the olden days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where harmonics were a super big problem, and you would transmit on multiple bands, and so that's I think that's why that's there. But I think with modern equipment, it's probably not that big of a deal.
It was just embarrassing. I was like, what is the meters? I don't know the meters. Oh, they're all going to know I'm a knucklehead.
Yeah, it happens.
Right.
Now, see, I'll actually go out and I will just read the frequency. CQ20. I'm sitting here on 14208 calling CQ20. Anybody out there? Anybody anywhere? QRZ? And I just put a little feeling into it, a little oomph.
So I was spinning the knob, and I heard a guy from Toads that was calling CQ. So he had a little bit of a pileup. I got on there, and I was dropping the K Toads call sign. And he's like again, and so I gave it to him, and he got it, and he didn't. I guess he didn't realize it was the K Toads call sign. So then he did want to rag you a little bit. So that's why I had to stop responding. I just was quiet. I was like this. But to this day, I've never spoken to him about it. I don't know if he knows that was me or not.
Oops.
But it was definitely funny.
So we talked about spotting. Where do we spot at?
Oh, yeah. So there's this thing called the DX cluster. So you can spot on POTA.app if you're doing a Parks on the Air. You can spot on the SOTA website if you're doing a Summits on the Air. But if you're just chatting away, you can get spotted, or you can spot on the DX cluster. And the DX cluster goes way back to the early days of the internet, and it's all Telnet, BBS, packet-based, literally. And then there are a bunch
reliable technology.
Yeah, there are a bunch of websites out there. Take it away for a second while I bring up a website.
Does Telnet even ship on a modern machine? Like, is that even? Do I have to get a?
You have to add it in, I believe. So this is dxcluster.info. I've never been on this site. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at.
See if you can find a Swede.
I'm smelling fakeness here.
Yeah. All right. So I've got my screen up. Let me share mine instead, because I
think I found some fake news.
I actually know what a DX cluster is, Jim.
That's why I asked.
So this is dxheat.com, and the reason why they call it DX Heat is because it has a heat map down here
fire
in the corner.
Fuego.
And so if I specify my content as North America, it will tell me that Europe and North America are on fire right now. Those are the bands that I want to go
Europe. So see, can you sort that by country or whatever? We know he's in Norway is what he claims, right?
Yeah, so I can pick Europe. So if Morton wants to get the best amount of contacts, he needs to be on 20 meters or on 40 meters.
Well, I'm saying on your data in your data table, can you sort that?
So I'm going to switch back to North America, and then over here, I can start doing some filtering. And this is why I like this site the best out of all of. There's a lot of different websites that present this information. This is one of my favorites. So I want to do only phone.
Oh, this is cool.
So now this is only going to be phone contacts, and this is as reliable as the source of information that is putting this data in. So you can see, like this is 1441670. I'm betting that's 20 meters. It's not 1.4 gigahertz.
That means he's one person on.
Yeah, exactly.
77 meters.
And then because this map says that Europe and North America are hot on 20 meters, I'm going to do 20 meters only. And so now I've got a bunch of 20-meter contacts, and it's sorted by time. And there's no way to like. I get that you want it sorted by time because this stuff does get stale as the person spins off the dial, but I'd like to sort it by frequency myself, and then try for a good minute or two to go down the frequency list in order. But if you're going 14,245, then 14,140, then 14,269 and a half, then 14,255, then 14,180, you're up and down the band, and so I would like to sort it by frequency, but I'm just ham complaining. It's not that
Yeah, I
big
don't
of
see
a
the
deal.
suite on there. Now, you can either spot yourself, but he's not allowed to do that, right? Because there's no self-spotting. So he's relying on somebody else to come here. And
Was-
this aggregates from other spotter sites too, right?
This
Was
is
he not
this is the
using
Telnet back
LA9H?
end. He was.
Yeah,
He was using an
LA9H.
LA.
LA9H, I think.
So here's a CQ field day call right here.
Range day, that sounds like fun.
And then I can click on it, and I can click on some statistics. So Belgium, and then I can do a lookup. Go to hamqth.com and look it up. And it'll give me the information. This guy's actually logged into hamqth.com and uploaded himself a photo there. His name
It's
is
a picture
Wim.
of a dog. That's legitimate.
Yes. So lots of things you can do here. How many times were they spotted? On which bands? Like lots and lots of information here that it might interest you. It might not, but there it is.
Can
Post
we
the
drop a
website
link in
info.
the chat?
I'm fixing to,
can.
yeah. Or he can. There's several sites. So, Steve, you were on DX Heat.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just, and I think they're all about the same, probably.
So this is another one. dxsummit.fi. Is it going to come up? It's coming up. Excellent.
Okay.
Whoop, too far. Back it off a bit.
Whoops. Dang it.
DX Watch, brought to you by the people at Reverse Beacon Network.
There you go. Sorry. My
I
bad.
said, what happened?
So this is DX Summit. DX Summit's a
My
nice
bad.
site,
I'm sorry.
and it has a
Quit
lot of the
hassling me,
same
bro.
filtering information. So if you're really looking for like that rare DX contact, I need to get a contact in India, for
Indonesia.
example. Indonesia. See, we're both on the eyes. We see eye to eye on that one. You'd be able to kind of sort and filter by the country in question. So what kind of filters do we have here? Look at all these filters that this site has. I can pick my band. I can pick my mode. I can pick include or exclude on those things. I can pick which, frequency range we're talking about, any flags they have.
And that is DX. Which one is that, Steve?
dxsummit.fi. And then while Jim's typing about that one, I'll share his stream instead. And Jim, if you can zoom in on that a little bit, this is dxwatch.com. Tell us about this one.
Whoa. Well, it's just another one that looks it looks pretty similar. Now this has call sign lookup, which is what caught my attention. Show latest cluster spots. There we go. So there is Morton's spot. He's let's see. So
Where you see Morton?
well, this is his LA9H, but this isn't for today.
You're probably sharing a window that popped up. We're only seeing the DX Watch site. It hasn't changed.
Oh, gee, I hate that.
It's
Hang
like
on.
playing cards with my brother's kids.
There it is. There it is. There it is. Hang on. So yeah, if you do,
Wait a minute, Chuck is in the chat.
I thought Chuck was supposed to be fixing his yurt. So I did a search on LA9H. Now you should see the right screen, right? Yeah. Okay.
After all the box stuffing he was doing, he was stuffing boxes again all day yesterday. I was surprised he went out on the yurt.
Well,
That
brother's
man
got to
has-
make a dime. He got his floor inspected yesterday.
He can tap the well forever.
Yep.
On energy.
So-
he's like a 5-year-old kid.
This is showing previous spots for LA9H. Now, none of these are today.
Yeah, back in
These are all
March. That's important.
Well, hey, this is what the
Listen,
data shows.
nobody's judging there.
Don't sass me. Don't sass
Nobody's
me.
judging.
So that's pretty cool. I wish it didn't open a new. And there's some pretty fancy filters in this too. So
Yeah, I'm going to say I don't like the X Watch.
you're just saying that to be mean. Just so there's several.
So this is why I said it looks a lot like it's run by the same people that do Reverse Beacon Network. This site just went through a recent change, and now it looks like it's all set up for mobile use. This would look fantastic on a cell phone. And Reverse Beacon Network is specifically a set of servers on the internet that listen for Morse code traffic and then send that out across the internet. They don't send the Morse code traffic out, they send the information out. So if I was to call CQ in Morse code, I would automatically get a spot on this website if I was heard. So you can even just kind of play with your own signal and see how far you're getting out by using reversebeacon.net. And you don't have to answer anybody at all.
So all this also relies on somebody spotting you as well. There's not a magic system that just knows that KN4YCD is tapping out code.
Right? Like you can spot yourself if it's not a contest.
Right. That's true.
So can you spot yourself for field day because it's not a contest?
It depends on whether it's in the field day rules or not.
The regulations. Yeah.
Regulations.
But now who knows that you spotted yourself?
Well, you got to put in a from, right?
Yeah, you have to put in who heard you.
I could just put in your call signs.
I put in K-toads.
This is kind of cheating in the sense of in the spirit of the contest. This would be cheating. But Morton's operating his club call, so he could spot the club call.
Y'all boys need to find LA9H and spot him. Hook a brother up.
He could spot the other OMs that were there with him because there was 4 people on the scene of that field day exercise. So, and they were on multiple bands. So Morton could spot as LB0FI his call, LA9H the club call, the other guy under the tent, under the canopy on 20 meters, and that's not Morton self-spotting himself. So it's an arguable loophole. But I like to argue because I'm a ham.
I like that.
It gives you an unfair competitive advantage if you spot yourself. It's
but
just
pedantically speaking.
And the thing, it's not a contest, right?
Right. And then the other one that you can get to besides reversebeacon.net is PSK Reporter. And PSK Reporter is one of my favorite websites because I do a lot of FT8. But PSK Reporter will also do a bunch of other modes as well. So you can get CW spots, and you'll get a totally different set of CW spots from PSK Reporter than you get from reversebeacon.net. They're just as good as the other spots. They're just different. So you can spot on FM, you can spot on RIDI, you can spot on Throb if you wanted to. You could spot on Thor. Yeah, CW Skimmer is what RBN is made up of.
Okay. Now I have Ham Radio Deluxe, and it has a logbook function in it that I have tied to QRZ and all that. But it also has a spot function built in it. So when you log anything, then it pushes that data out to the spotting networks. Something like that. You crack what?
Crack a
Is that the sound of a Miller Lite? Oh, okay.
Coke.
A Coke.
There we go. So right now, I can tell that my friend Carlos Felix, KD9OLN, is playing around on 20 meters, and he's doing a propagation. He's doing a receiver test where he is having one antenna.
That looks like 6 meters to me. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything.
The red is so he's running the opposite direction. The red is contacts that he's made out, which you're correct, that is 6 meters. The yellow is contacts that he's listening to. So let me get back to my story, which would explain all this to you, Abe. Shut your mouth.
So, Abe, how's it going, man?
He's receiving a signal into a T connector, and that T connector is split on equal lengths of coax into 2 different radios, a Yaesu 991A, and I think it's that FT7300 that he got serendipitously through Jim. And he's trying to see which one of these has a better receive. And this is a good way of doing it. So all of these yellow dots are all the things that Carlos himself has received in the test that he's running. So look for a video on his channel about all of that explanation, because I think that's a fantastic experiment, especially with that T connector in there.
And he's going to run that for like a month, I believe. It's not going to be a short
He's
short time, unlike Carlos, right? Yeah.
So yeah, Carlos is going to do an FT8 parachute mobile jump. That's got to be
that'd be good.
interesting.
You know, I was thinking, like, if you really wanted to work some contacts, what you should do is find a guy who's running a large pileup, go on that frequency, and then just start responding to the people that are responding to him, right?
Ham
Let-
crime.
That way, he's doing most of the work. You know, he's already got the crowd there. You can just step in and start responding. You
made me snort, bro. I'm glad. I
and be
didn't
like,
soda
if
in
somebody gets
those.
upset, just be like, "I'm sorry, man. I couldn't hear him. I thought
I thought the frequency was in use. I mean,
I
I
have
didn't know
had-
it was in
it's
use.
clear. I thought the frequency was clear."
It's really funny. That's actually an interesting segue into the next part of our show here, because we're going to act like we had an agenda and a list of items we were going to talk about.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can call CQ.
Lord.
Sometimes you can check to see if a frequency is open, and you can hear that it's clear because nobody responded back to you. But that's because you can't hear the conversation that's already happening on the band. And I've had that happen before. Like, you'll hear somebody call CQ, and then as you spin the dial down to where you see them on the waterfall, it all goes silent. That's because somebody's answering them that you can't hear. And it doesn't matter how strong your signal is either. I was at the Voice of America radio station in Ohio, and I was working with a 600 watt amp, and the person that I was talking to was working with a 600 watt amp, and the two of us were just clear as day, like we were sitting in the room with each other having a conversation. And somebody else tuned up on the frequency and started calling CQ right in the middle of our conversation.
It must have been Molson.
Probably. Can't trust them. Dang Canadians.
I don't know. The whole thing's silly. Like, you'll hear people get super duper upset, even if they're like, if you listen to a frequency and you don't hear anything, and then you call some, oh, no, this frequency's in use. Well, how come I couldn't hear you before? Like, how come I could hear you all of a sudden? I guess the band's changed that quick.
You can call me a bad ham, and I'm sure somebody will. I don't call it the frequency in use. I'm sitting here listening to it for 5 minutes, and nobody said a word. So, Avi, not in use.
No, I will do that. I will check to see if it's in use.
Well, I mean, I'm listening to it. I'm tuned up, and nobody started talking in 5 minutes, so it's not in use.
Yeah, maybe
if
they're
I
getting
say
the
is the-
prescriptions,
I ain't got time for that. I have to ask if the
Emptying
frequency's in use. I am
emptying
in a
their
hurry.
bag. Well, yeah, that's true. I suppose that's true. Where's Joe Brett this morning? He's slacking off. He's usually here.
maybe he had too much of that tin cup last night.
Hey, it could have been. That could have been. He was kind of sassy in the chat last night, so
Was he?
it's giving you grief.
Ouch.
You better not have. I'll go
Don.
back there and reread that.
Don. Ouch. I can't wait till Don starts live streaming and we can heckle him in his chat.
I know.
Actually, yeah, I was saying something to Don the other day. He's putting out more YouTube content than most YouTube ham tubers.
He actually put out more than you did this month.
Not this month. I put out like 13 videos this month.
Son, it's September 3rd. You ain't put out nothing this month.
You ain't
Well, I
put out
call it a
nothing.
rolling 30.
You
I
ain't
look at
put
a rolling
out.
30.
You ain't putting out. Ain't nobody said you putting out. Mm-mm.
Listen to who's talking over there. You've been working on this DSD Plus video
I ain't
7
been work-
weeks.
I ain't been working on it. I tried to do it at work yesterday, and I had this craptastic USB mic there, an NAD mic, which
Never heard of
apparently
it.
you have to talk into it like this, and then it spontaneously quit in the middle of recording, and I was like, okay, I give up. So I'm
Was it a
doing
mic
that
review? Because that would be perfect for a mic review.
today. No, it was just some crappy USB
I
mic
don't
I had
like this
thrown in a
microphone.
drawer at work. Yeah, I tried doing it with my AirPods, which recorded, but then it sounds like you're talking, in
Yeah,
AirPods.
we got Tango. We got Tango in here.
He's just been lurking. Well, thank you for unlurking.
Right, then you have Randall's talking about frequency squatters. Right, that's the guy who's been like, I've been holding this frequency for 25 years.
Good.
That's
Keep
right.
on holding it.
There's
I'll
going
let
to be
you-
a net tomorrow night. You can't use this frequency.
Right, Don, I think the $1,000 challenge videos, Don has done more than the rest of the group combined. I think is
Yeah.
where
gonna
we are.
go out on a limb here and say that Don won.
I got to catch up with Don because it's because of him that I ordered. And since I know you're watching, Don, I ordered this amp. If this doesn't work, you owe me $175, Don.
Right.
That's not a
But I
bad
might
price
need a
for
little
an
bit of
amp.
guidance connecting it to the Hermes Lite. Is
There's
why I
only two
bought this.
connectors on the back. What kind of guidance do you need?
I mean, aren't
I
you a
don't know,
ham?
man. That
Aren't you a
Hermes
real
light-
ham, son?
I need to know which hole to plug it in. Man, the Hermes Lite, if you look at the back of that thing's got a whole mess of them.
He hadn't taken it out of the bag, Don.
I mean, you had to take a test, right?
What, for the Hermes Lite? No. And the other one is he's using some pretty slick software that I want to ask him about, as opposed to I was using SDR Console is the one I use when I set up the Hermes Light. So I guess I got to go get the Hermes Light out of the box.
Yeah. So that's $175. That's cheaper than the Zygu. The Zygu is like $600.
which Don? It would be N5 SKT.
Yeah, it would be.
And I don't really remember the name of this amp. It's like the PM50. What you can do is you can go to eBay and type in cheap Chinese amp, and this will show up.
So Don says it's the exciter hole, the EXTR, and that's how they get you with ham lingo, because exciter is what they used to use for your transceiver, your transmitter back in the day.
Right. Well, the thing is because your amps were outside, like, so everybody's radio's got an amp in it, right? Because the exciter, when that produces a signal, it's super, super low. And then you're going to hit your preamp and then an amp inside your radio.
So real quick, NRD was asking, is Don the one who runs Tech Minds? No, that is Matt that runs Tech Minds. Don is a Texan, and Matt from Tech Minds is a European.
Sweet.
Brit. He's a Brit, mate. Well, that was
so I took it out of the box. $175. I think I might have got ripped off on this thing. It only does about 45 watts. And then
so you hadn't even put electricity in that yet.
No, dude, I've got so much stuff sitting here. I gotta work on.
So the switch on the front changes bands.
Yeah, this changes the band. So you have 80, 40, 30 through 17.
On, son. You can't see that.
You can't even see that. Looks like you had a shaving accident too the other day. Probably didn't have your glasses on.
Nice.
So it's got
glasses.
Yes, it's got 40. It's got 80, 40, 30 through 17, 15 through 10. It's the MX-P50M HF high power amplifier.
And it said that it's 50, but that's all relative.
I think the most you're going to get out of this is around 40 to 45.
It kind of they're called linear amps for a reason. They kind of multiply the amount of power that you put into them. So you have to put the right amount of power into it, and everything is rated in a roundabout.
So Don says 35 watts. After that, of course, it may cause the earth to fold in on itself.
So you have your antenna out, you have your TX in, and then this right here, it says 13.8 volts. So that would be your power in, but it's got two different cords that come out of that. So one of them is obviously not your power. And it would be the keyer, right, that you want to wire into your radio.
I'd say the big white one is power, and then the little black one is the one that's the most important. That's your PTT.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. But again, this is Chinese made, so they might have used this one for the power. So Walt?
There's a whole lot of wrong with that.
Walt, were you doing field day in Region 1?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Ape. I'm just saying that there's a whole lot of potential for wrong in that.
And then here is the cable. So you can tell the bigger cable is the one with a fuse. So that's going to be the power cable. That thing looks chewed up. And then it came with this because I think it's for the they kind of market it for the 817, 818. So it comes with
like
this
a
plug
6-pin connector.
Yeah. And you just take this apart somehow and
wire
it up. But it also came with this 3.5 millimeter. I guess that's what that's called.
TRRS. Yeah, that'll plug into your 705.
Yeah. And I'm assuming this is what I got to use for the Hermes Light. I honestly don't remember what the connection was on the back of it.
Now Kevin opened his up and did some rewiring inside of it.
He did. And so I'm planning to do that job. And what that does is it lowers the PTT required voltage, so the 705 can key this. I'm not sure I'm going to use it with the 705. I do want to use this with the TX 500 from Lab 599. So more to come on this.
Walt is doing Region 1 field day.
Don says it uses an RCA jack, so I'll just have to go find one of those and cut it off.
Viacom 73s. I like that. The Hermes uses an RCA jack. Yep.
So there you go.
I don't know what Hollywood means, but he said put in a bigger fuse and it'll make you happy.
So hold on. Let me translate this from CB for you. He's saying increase the rating of the fuse from 10 amps to 20 amps, and you will get more power out on your power meter.
There you go.
Okay.
And then Don's plugging the Mercury 3 on
Again,
there as well.
Don, whenever you know my address, it's in the description of all my videos. You can send that Mercury right up here. I'll get it built for you. We'll get it all tested out. We'll get it on the air.
Is he having a problem with his Mercury 3?
No, he just wants to sell them. Apparently, he's getting a big kickback or something.
How much are they? They're like $3,500, right?
They're not cheap.
They are cool though. I think I'm just going to cut this baby off and then power pole it.
That would be the easy way.
Yeah.
Power pole it.
$24.99.
Yeah. Tuned for maximum smoke. That's right.
Well, there you go, Raphael. I'll have to call him. I'll have to get him and Don on a conference call.
Don for the snark and Raphael for the technical expertise.
Yeah. One of them's going to give you the answer, and we know it's not Don.
And one of them's going to give you the business.
Give you the business.
So what about these guys who record their old ladies calling CQ? And then
that's
they
cheating.
play the.
I
I think
think
it's being dirty.
That's dirty.
It's cagey.
I don't respond to anybody that sounds young and female just for that reason.
I never thought about that.
That's the
I
reason.
never have thought about that. I need to get the kid to do that.
I don't know.
Macy,
I think
come here, just talking to this.
I don't know. I think it's doing somebody dirty to do that. Now the thing is if you're so damn thirsty that you got to respond to a girl calling CQ, on ham radio for some action,
Right.
You're the one actually with the problem. But it's not. Can you imagine being the guy who's going to the club and being like, "I'll tell you what drives me crazy is these guys who use a female voice to call CQ trick me into."
Every time I get tricked by them.
I got catfished into thinking I was talking to a XYL.
Or a YL.
See, now
Yeah.
NRD is saying it's science. Female voices are usually clearer on the air. There's a lot of things that ladies do better than gentlemen. I will definitely say that.
We are walking through a minefield. Stop talking. Let's just get away from all that right
Oh
now.
no! I was talking like shooting. Like take a girl out to a shooting range. She's a better shot because she's not trying to macho her way through shooting.
What?
Yeah.
That's a reasonably well-known fact.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know what you were thinking about, Jim.
Well, here we go. Take that, Don. He's saying the Mercury amps are very good, but he would increase the internal attenuator on the input. I was thinking the same thing, Hollywood. They got too much gain. Most of the rigs overshoot this and will clip, and this will clipping and hurt the LDMOS eventually.
The LD Moss.
See, and Hollywood's back here with some more science. See, Hollywood agrees.
Right.
Female voices are symmetrical. Male voices are asymmetrical.
Hey, Larry. We got Larry up in here today.
Hey, Larry, good morning.
Larry live streams like every single day over on the Ham Radio Live channel. It's a good time.
And Tim is correct. I have a lot of female racers that are a lot faster than their male counterparts. And I hate to admit it, but my wife has beat my times a couple of times at the track.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
The track.
I just said okay.
I
I've
keep
got
that to
nothing.
myself.
I have no comment, no response, no reply to that. Nothing. Everything up here is snark. So I'm just.
Well, what else we got on the call and CQ?
Well, so, see, we started talking about females, and our viewers jumped by 10. We went from 75 viewers to 85.
They got a
I
gal
see
calling
85
CQ
out
on there.
They got a gal on that show. Usually it's a Saturday morning sausage fest. That's why I never watch it.
And I did something to my back. It is effing killing me.
Ooh, now it's 80 meters.
I cannot get comfortable. I'm gonna have to go throw this chair out in the yard.
Is it gout?
Oh,
Do you have
It's
gout
not
in your
gout.
back?
back out.
I don't know what it is.
His sciatic. His
Lumbago.
sciatic muscle.
I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's like my lower back's killing me. Right where I got my tattoo of my call sign.
I thought that said optimoids.
A phase rotator. I'll be darned. I thought Hollywood was making that up, and I'm still not 100% sure he's not. But it sounds so true, science-y that it's got to be real, man.
He's either dazzling me or baffling me, but
Yeah, I'm not sure which.
Yeah, he could be leg pulling there.
I know.
Here we go. We have something in here about QRP. Everybody stop posting for a second. All right, now you can start posting again. It says, any strategies for calling CQ while QRP? The strategy that I would employ is use an amplifier.
Yes, yes. When you are QRP and you're calling CQ or you're trying to break a pile up, you definitely have to act like you're a CrossFitter and announce that you are QRP as many times as possible.
Which I don't get, right? They're like, QRP, here's my call sign, QRP 5 whiskeys. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't. I'm not making fun of QRP people. We love them, but I just don't. Like, why do they have to do that? And then the other one is that we're right. Thanks, Randall. Is where people will put in the slash, right? Where they're like, I am QRP/P/M on the way here /P now calling CQ on QRP. Like, I don't. I'm not incentivized to respond to anybody who is QRP just because they're QRP. I guess you're doing somebody a bro move if you do that.
Well, I was going to say, if I'm FT8ing and I see somebody calling CQ POTA QRP or CQ QRP, I'll hit them first before I worry about grabbing somebody else. I'm just making contacts, right? I don't care if they're QRP, but
I don't think anybody does, right? Most people are so crazed.
But I probably would have made a contact with them anyway. So, but I'll go get them first. I don't know, just so they quit talking.
I would be incentivized to respond to somebody calling POTA because I think that's different, though, right? I mean,
yeah.
POTA is really good for the hobby, so you want to support that, right? But if it's just QRP, I'm not.
So Don from Australian Don here has a good statement. He says,
"We love you, Walt."
In his country, he is only allowed to operate QRP. So there is a reason for QRP. QRP is a lot of fun, and I have a lot of QRP radios here. I like building QRP radios. I like operating them. I like tinkering with them. I like all things QRP. The thing I don't enjoy about QRP is trying to break a pile up because it's hard. So you have to rely on good operator tactics on the calling station side. Sometimes they'll like, all right, let's stop for a second, and anybody who's QRP, come now. And that gives people who are operating QRP radios a chance to break in. Mm-hmm. And then another good operating practice that you can have is limiting your responses to a certain region. So I was working 20 meters late at night, which 20 meters opens up again a little while later at night, which is fantastic. And I was able to get New Zealand at like 11 p.m. here. And it was pretty awesome. But the reason why was because he said, all right, anybody from 9 land, anybody from the 9 region, and then I called because I was the only one from the 9 region that was awake at that moment. So
Walt's saying he uses a QRP tag and it works. And I'm not making fun of QRP guys. I actually think that it's much, much more skill involved in to be a successful QRP operator. You have to look for efficiencies in your transmission lines, your antenna systems. You have to have a pretty sound station, and you have to have some pretty good skill. So I'm definitely not making fun of it. I am making fun of people who advertise it, though. But I'm making fun of people who advertise everything.
That's a fine line, brother.
Where they're like, I'm operating QRO in the field in the solar panel. Right, that's the other one. I'm operating on reserve power.
Emergency power.
I got the old lady bicycling right now. Y'all need to talk to me, please.
Right. QRP is for heroes. That's right. So Tim wanted a quick update on the X6100. The X6100 is progressing along fantastically. My friend Jim, my 3D printer friend, has sent me side cards for the X6100, and I'm hoping with this one here that I'll be able to mount some way to connect a better Wi-Fi antenna. That's my current hack on that, but I've got to do some measurements. I got to play around a little bit, and
you had that stuff for like 2 weeks.
I've got a lot of stuff.
Got to move along,
on,
son. Got to move along. Chip chop.
I was thinking, so why do you need two? So I get that the radio has 2 sides, but if the Wi-Fi is only on one side, why do you need 2?
Because one is yellow, and that would look really odd if I only had the one side yellow and not the other side.
Listen, you operating that radio, the side of the color of the radio ain't the odd part. You know what I'm saying?
You saying the radio's odd, or you saying I'm odd? Where should I take offense at this? Because you're either making fun of my baby or you're making fun of me.
There's more than one odd thing going on there.
Yes. It's a confluence of oddness, I think, is what I'm hearing.
And if you guys really want to go down the rabbit hole of radio repair and awesomeness, check out the Toads Discord in the X6100 Shenanigans room. There's a member by the name of Brett 4. Like, what's a Brett 4? BRET number 4. And he had something where he blew out a final on that radio and repaired it himself with the help of other members of Toads. And it's an awesome journey. It's a lot of reading, but we're pulling out the MOSFETs. We're doing testing. We've got some char on the board that we got cleaned up. And Brett was able to get the radio repaired. He actually had to pull out the binocular toroid and rewrap it because the enamel wire inside melted. And he's doing all this inside of the Discord, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, Marvin, I would imagine you are kind of a rare grid square. Are you in our metro area in South Dakota? Like in the capital, in Pear, or somewhere else? I think it's Pear.
Pierre?
They have metro area in
Pear.
South Dakota.
Well, yeah, they're not French.
Yeah, I think they pronounce it Pear. But I'm trying to think of some of the other towns in South Dakota. I don't remember.
Well, look at this. Sleeping Beauty woke up.
Oh, hey, Pumpkin. Nice of you to join us. Show's almost over.
Almost. Not yet. We got to figure out how to go for the next 25 minutes.
That's what you're... Oh, never mind.
Wow. Wow. Your mom didn't
James.
complain, Jim.
Oh, boy.
I didn't say anything, mostly. Aberdeen, and it's pronounced Pier. Pier, okay.
Wow.
Marvin, I'm a heathen from Kankakee, so
There we
That's
go.
even worse.
It looks like we shamed Walt into operating QRO. Going to step up. No, I think it's awesome when somebody goes out and they tape them on just a few watts, making some killer contacts.
Oh, it's great.
right.
It does carry an additional sense of accomplishment with it.
Here we go. Then you have people like Dennis. Anything less than 1500 is QRP.
Right.
And that's 1500 at the output of your amp, not your ERP, your effective.
Unless you're on
rating power.
60 meters, right? Don't you? You have to keep track of your ERP on 60.
Right.
Well, that still makes it QRP though.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
There's a lot of spaces. The band plan is actually a little weird. There's a lot of places where you have power restrictions or geographical restrictions or something like that. And we should talk about band plans one day.
We should talk
Well-
about band plans one day.
Fortuitously, I was looking at that yesterday, and I don't remember all of it, and the ARRL has.
When you don't remember all of
fabulous-
yesterday, or you don't remember all?
No, I don't. I've forgotten most of it.
The high point was when he talked to me.
Well, I got a 9700, and it does 2 meter, 440, and 23 centimeter, 1.2 gigahertz.
We haven't seen any pictures of this alleged
this radio doesn't
9700.
exist.
I
have we,
will
Theo?
post some in the Discord.
Yes.
But
only hams.
in only hams, right? But I was like, well, I don't even know where the ham area is in 1.2, and there is reduced power requirements in 1.2 as well.
So you
which
were
I thought
doing a
was
little
interesting.
investigative reporting there, or what?
Just investigating because I
been
don't
no
have,
report.
I don't have a triplexer. The antenna does 1.2 and 2 meter and 440, but I don't have a triplexer yet, so I'm waiting on that. I had a duplexer. The guy sold me with it, but that doesn't cover the 1.2 band.
So why would you need a triplexer, Jim? Educate me.
So I have this radio hooked up to a discone antenna, which covers from like, I think I want to say about 30 up to 1500 megahertz. I don't remember it. It's quite a wide range that it covers. And I'm trying to pull up the band plan chart while I'm talking.
Take your time. Take your time.
Anyway, so I'll do that later. So the triplexer takes the one cable coming from the discone, which is multi-banded, and then splits it out based on blocks of frequency. So there's one of the connectors is for 30 to 150 or something like that, and then the next one is for 400 to 500. I can't remember the exact split, and then the other one is for up in the 1.2 area.
You're talking
So
about
on
on
the
the
back-
back of your radio, right?
And,
So you,
well, yeah.
There's
So
only
I
two
have
ports
one
on the
in.
back of the radio.
There's three. There's a 2 meter, a 440, and a 1.2.
I thought it was
so
So-
you need,
70
you
was
need a
shared.
triplex, the signal coming out back from the antenna is
Yes.
essentially what you're saying. Not
Yes.
not the on the way out, it's on the way in.
Right, not on the way out, on the way in. Well, and it will do it on the way out. It'll take the 1.2 stuff and shove it out the 1.2 hole. And
Well, the radio will do that natively, right? Because it's got the 3 outputs.
yes, right, correct.
So I guess the question is how much is that triplexer going to set you back, son?
$80.
That's not bad. I was waiting to hear 275.
No. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything to do on 1.2 yet, but you know, I ain't going to unless I get a triplexer on it. So
And plus that up a little bit, Tio. I
Jim
can't
is-
read. I can't get
Jim
my
is
glasses.
correct.
get your glasses on again.
I
So
still
the
can't
problem
read
is
it.
that it's wide. It's
Yeah, and
taller
they
than it
didn't-
is wide.
They didn't conveniently locate those ports. I was like, I think whoever built the design on the back of that radio was high that day. Too much sake or something.
Hell of a
'cause
fan too.
It is. It's not loud. I haven't heard it fire up that fan yet, but I
Not like
haven't
you hadn't even
really-
used the radio yet.
He doesn't have the
son-
radio, so that's why he hasn't heard nothing.
Oh Lord. This is the other radio that is usable with SDR control as well. So
What is this end connectors on here?
Yeah, 2 of them are the B and D connectors are N's,
This one here.
I
and this one
believe.
here.
I know the 1.2 is an N, and I think the 440 is an N as well.
That A connector looks like an end connector.
No, it's an SO.
Tio, what do you think?
I think there's something suspect about the connector. I will agree on that.
If only Jim had taken pictures and posted them in Toads.
Yeah, I know. What is
If
H?
only.
Data jack? Why does H not look like a 3.5?
H.
That's a weird jack. H right here in between the
Yeah.
USB B and
That's the same.
accessory port.
Well, that's the same data jack that's on the 5100 as well, because they're using an 8-inch like TS connector for the data jack, or TRS. I don't remember.
Right, but you see how it looks different than the other 4 TRS connectors?
It does. It's an
Maybe
odd
it's not a
size.
TR. Maybe it's one of the smaller ones.
I think it's smaller. It's not 8-inch. It looks like it, but it's a
2.5
different
is what
size
Tim's
cable.
saying.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know. I'm not using it. If you're using the USB, you don't need it. So this guy is on the LAN, so I can run it with SDR control, and then I have it connected via USB to my Windows computer, so I can also drive it with Ham Radio Deluxe,
SDR
which means I can use the satellite tracker function in HRD to drive the radio and track satellites with it.
So why aren't you FT8ing right now?
Yeah, what's the holdup?
I'm talking to you, Mugs, on the internet.
You can probably get 2-meter single sideband with Joe Red. Hasn't he
Yeah.
been doing a lot of that lately?
I think he has, and yes, it does sideband on 2
And you
meter
got that
440.
fancy? Don't you have that fancy arrow antenna?
I do. Which is not really mast mountable. You have to hand hold it.
You get yourself some duct tape.
That might be a function for my kid if I can convince her.
Go
"Baby, you
on
need to
out
stand
there.
outside.
Going out there
Hold
and
that.
point this towards Joe Brett.
Aim this toward Mississippi. No more north, honey. Yeah, that'd last about 5 seconds or so.
T-Ray saying that he likes it.
It's a nice.
Oh,
radio.
did you not? Were you fixing to get one, T-Ray? You should have, man. I love it. It's a cool radio.
Anthony told him no. Anthony was ham blocking.
I would
Yeah.
have expected T-Ray had one, to be honest with you.
Or
T-Ray's
he's got to do
got
something
one
to
of
fill up that
everything
hole
else.
where his 7610 should go.
And T-Ray, let's talk about the 7610. I mean, I know Mike is cool, but son,
Mike still got his 7610.
he ain't that cool. Just
Well,
saying.
so to be fair to T-Ray's playing with his FTDX 101 while Mike is keeping the 7610 warm.
Who's 101? T-Ray's or Mike?
Yeah, T-Ray's got one of each.
Yeah, okay.
He's also got a flex, if I remember correctly.
See,
I think
Raphael?
that's correct.
See you,
If you're gonna
Raphael.
start at the top. That way you're never disappointed.
Right.
Or at least if you are disappointed, you know it's never going to get any better.
Look at this. Walt was over there drinking that Polish whiskey, and then he ended up getting a 747 GX.
Uh-oh. Might have been Polish vodka.
Oh, good stuff.
He's Plasma saying T-Ray got a second 7610. I don't know if that's true or not.
He did. Well, there we go. See, it's true.
T-Ray, what? I'm confused.
The twins. You got two of them.
Wow.
Well, Mike's house is so far away, and Amazon delivers.
Right.
Oh yeah, Gigaparts is having flash sales this weekend. They had like a buy two get three free on the QRZ1 radio.
Pull it up. Let's see what they got.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Flash sale ending soon. Let's share it out. Share screen window.
See, I was looking at the other day. I started to get jittery, and I was looking at 7610s, but nobody had them in stock.
Yeah, they're that's the same with the 9700.
I don't know where I would put a
find.
7610 on this
You only
desk.
live once. That's right, T-Ray.
Maybe I need to move this microphone.
Maybe you need to get a 7610.
Oh, let's see if they got them in stock. What is Tio doing over here?
So Gigaparts is having this flash sale, and every so many hours they change whatever it is that they have for sale. Right now it's the RT Systems radio programming cable and software. I don't know what it's going to be next, and they cannot be combined with any other promotion.
Right.
So what if can you buy that and then wait for the next thing and then place a second
Yes.
order?
Yes, you have to buy something like every 2 hours from Gigaparts. That's how they get you.
Well, Don, you said you're watching it. He bought an Ameritron 8-port antenna switch at 4 a.m. this morning. How much was it, Don? He leaving that part out.
And then Pat got M&P coax.
Cool. I haven't gotten anything out of the flash sale.
I keep forgetting to look.
Yeah, I know. That's
I
See
did
if they
find
got
a
a
great
70.
deal on
See if
eBay
they
I'm
have
not gonna tell you
7610s. See if they have 7610s in stock.
What do we have? There we go. I will note that my IC7300 has gone up in value since I bought it. So
yeah. Apparently, well, it's probably not in stock, is it?
It says ready to ship.
Son, you need to buy Ape. There you go.
I don't have.
I will be
$35.
talking to you tonight after you've had a couple Millers and using my Jedi powers on
Guess
you.
what I did, James?
That's right.
refurbished on clearance.
I got mine for
29,
2800. I got a
29.
refurb from
There you
MTC.
go. There's your refurb right there.
I got one already. It's right here next to the 9700.
Well, you wouldn't be like T-Ray and double down, son.
No, I'm good. I ain't nobody could be like T-Ray.
That's 4 bands at once, man.
Yeah. T-Ray
Why
said he
wouldn't-
may be living under a bridge with his radio.
Why wouldn't you want that?
I got one. I do have it. I mean, you need it.
Then you need a quadruplexer for the.
Well, the thing is,
car
what would
antenna.
I do with my 7300?
Sell it. Send it to Rolly for Papua New Guinea.
I'd be like, you know how much it cost me? It probably
Power.
cost more to ship it to Rolly.
Yeah, and this does
Most
not
likely.
qualify for free shipping. So you gotta pay for that all by yourself.
So here is the ARL band plan that I mentioned earlier. And you can download this. You can buy this in paper form from DX Engineering for like $10, or you can download one of the 10,000 copies on the internets and use it as your wallpaper, which is usually what I do. But this breaks down. This is a great chart because it breaks down all the bands so you know what the meters is if you're calling CQ on 21 megahertz. And you go, oh, God, what is the meters? But it also shows where you're authorized to operate in the band. Yeah, it's not showing my mouse cursor. Nope.
It's like playing cards with my brother's kids.
Lionel's asking if Joe Brett's near Tupelo because they have some Yahoo in a stolen plane threatening to crash it. I can see Joe Brett right now flying out there and is getting a drone out and
Go for a ramming maneuver. So like here's the 1.2 stuff over here in the corner. And so I never had any interest in 1.2, never really thought about it. So I had to look at this, look it up and find out where I was authorized to operate. And interestingly enough, all US licenses can operate on 1.2, even novice and tech. The novice class is a little power restricted and slightly
Just
less
for
on the
no
band.
real reason.
Right. I guess to make the rest of us feel better about ourselves.
yeah, like why would you put a 5-watt limitation on? That's how we're going to get them. That's how we're going to get them novices to upgrade. Give them a 5-watter.
And then, so the extra in general gets the whole entire band, which is 60 megahertz of bandwidth. So,
So what are you planning to do on 1.2?
bro, I have no idea. There's some satellite downlink stuff on 1.2. There's a D-Star repeater here on 1.2. I won't say the name of the town because you go off on it again, so I'm just going to leave that out. You don't even remember what it is now. So
Look at this. Lon saying you can't even get the shopping cart to come up.
It's the coffee and ham radios effect.
Right.
So your 9700 doesn't do 33 centimeters, though, does it?
No.
Send it back. Got to get a Yaesu.
Yeah, I'm good.
They should just give all the novices a free upgrade to save on the paper of these band plans.
Right. Just grandfather them up to tech and let's move on with our lives.
Some company wanted to send me
novices. Did they have to do code to get novice? I don't remember. That predates me a long time.
Some company was going to send me a 900 megahertz HT, and I told them not to because there's nothing here that's operating on that.
Your scanner,
right?
You can
I was thinking I
could
do my SDR. I could talk to myself on my SDR. Or something.
It could be like the old days where you were listening in on your neighbor's, cordless phone conversation.
On the cordless phones. You could give the radio to the old lady, and you could listen to the scanner, so then she wouldn't have to scream "ape" when she was trying to get your attention to mow the grass or cook ribs or something.
You also have plausible denial when she says you weren't listening. I was listening, I just couldn't respond. She didn't really want your response anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick said novices didn't need code. I think that's right. They were the first no code level license was the novice class.
Walt is saying they had to do 5 words per minute. So
okay. I don't know.
He spent 262 on the 8-port switch.
Gold contacts?
I don't know. I'm angry with you boys because I'm sitting here. All I can think about is the 7610.
Yeah. And how
they got them sitting.
They got that thing.
They're sitting right there on the shelf.
And you could save a couple $100 and get the refurb one because you can get the awesome warranty from Gigaparts even on the refund.
I'm not. I don't.
Okay. How did that sneak in here?
That's Joe Brett's second account.
It's probably. God, I keep trying to click it and it keeps throwing more out there.
Lock.
I got him.
Thank you.
But I only got them in
timeout.
timeout.
Do they actually subscribe to the channel? Thank you for subscribing, by the way. Because we've got subscriber mode only turned on. These bots are serious.
Wow.
That's funny. Like, do those bots work? Like, who is reading the chat and see something like that come along and be like,
I need to go check that out.
76 megas got...
Oh, what's that?
Right. They got an AI dating match of 84%.
This numberlarge.com website has got to be, the best place to buy ham radio gear.
Right. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why do any of those people do that? I guess it's a numbers thing. If you send out 10 million of them, there'll be 1% return on investments.
Switch. That explains
it. The Donald is saying
it was
a remote switch.
Don wants me to share my screen out while I go to that website. No.
Here we go. They're using a YL call to get in.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, the people from that website, what they need to do is announce that they're operating QRP.
T-Ray said he does.
Exactly.
Oh, T-Ray. Them girls are going to leave you with nothing but sadness, despair, and less cash.
See, I'm afraid if I get to 7610, there's going to be some kind of, that uses this type of connector. So you need another cable, and the cable is going to set you back $100.
No, USB, Ethernet. That's all you need. Power.
I could use that software with it too, right?
SDR control. That's right.
Yes, you can. SDR control, plus which it has. You can use HDSDR or any of the SDR softwares to use the one built into the radio.
Jim doesn't have a point. Never. So, folks, it has been an exciting Saturday morning. I'm glad to have spent all of this time with all of you except for Jim. And we got to go around the room and see what's coming up next. On my channel on Monday night, we're going to do the Revenge.
He muted himself.
No, Jim muted me.
What? I mean, is it?
Right. Hands above the table, Jim. So Jim and I are going to talk about the 1090 megahertz antenna. I think that the antenna that we built works. I think the test equipment that we have did not cover that range, but we're going to play around with some real antennas because I bought a bunch off of Amazon in disgruntled disgust at the end of Ham Nuggets last week. So we're going to have some more nuggets coming back and make some progress on that front. More flight tracking for me. And then Jim's got a DSD video coming out today, right? About half an hour after the show?
I don't know, about a half.
Is it really coming out today, or are you just
It
talking
is.
mess?
It is. No, I'm getting it done today. I'd had it done yesterday, but I had microphone issues.
I bet you he don't get it done today. He wants
I'm
to put
gonna
some
get it
live
done.
action.
I'm gonna
Who's
get it
putting
done.
live action on it?
And
I'm
then
getting
Ape's
it
going to
done.
go back into hibernation. You done enough videos for now?
I
I
did
have.
3 or 4 last month, so I mean, you know.
He's spent.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm working on a video right now. I
Uh-oh.
have to go check my list.
I'm working
Didn't you
on
just
6
say
videos right
within
now,
the
son.
last hour, man, I got so much stuff on my desk. I can't
I do.
get
I've
to
got
it all.
tons of stuff on my desk. But I mean, I want to make sure that I put out a quality, a quality offering. I got the 2 SDRs, right? So I was gonna do something with that, but I don't know what I would do yet. And so
Plug them into each other. Perpetual motion machine.
I have to play around with these. I actually got a couple of things. EBL sent me a bunch of batteries, and they want me to do a review on that.
Excellent. Will the antenna?
I don't know. I'm going to see if they will discharge and charge. That'll be exciting, right?
Walt is trolling now. Walt, really? Really, Walt?
It must be that Polish whiskey he's
Well,
drinking.
the
over
Mets
there.
are
I
better than
guess.
the Braves.
I've also got a Cubs shirt. I could wear the Cubs shirt and know the Mets are not better than anyone.
The Cubs.
Cubs.
He's like, we'll just love the one we're with. We're
Well-
currently in Atlanta. I'm wearing a Brave shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to wear a Brave shirt. I'm in the South. I'm going to wear a Brave shirt. If I go back to Illinois, I'll wear a Cubs shirt.
He would. He would.
We haven't done Hammy Awards.
No, we
And-
stopped, right?
And that's from the Canadian. Whatever, Canada Joe, whatever.
All right, folks,
All right.
say your goodbyes. I'm hitting the button.
Later. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Adios.